ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dandenong City Soccer Club. For this round 22 NPL clash between Dandenong City and against Hume City. 6 versus 4 on the table tonight could impact on the number of standings in the top 6. Tonight's sponsors, as per always, we need to thank. Without them, where would we be? From the top, our major sponsors for the senior side, we have to thank, as always, the IMV Group, Continental Steel, Interspan, Conto Concrete, ASA, IBM Cranes, Forbeck Australia, Omniform, EMS Reinforcement, Bitmesh, United Forklifts, and Instant Access, and all our wonderful sponsors that continue to support the club. Thank you all the supporters here tonight. I know there's not many of you. It's a cold, wet night, and let's hope it's enjoyable soccer. Let's go quickly through the lineups tonight. For Hume City, the visitors, we have number 24, Amir Abdullah. Number 14, we have Harry Ashcroft. Number 11, we have the captain, Josh Dickman. Number 10, we have Joshua Gorlewski. Number 7, we have Laurie Isgrove. Number 23, we have Asim Ishak. Number 22, we have Oscar Carlson. Number 5, we have Fletcher McFarlane. Number 21, Joshua O'Kane. Number 4, Lachlan Weir. And number 16, the goalkeeper, Michael Weir. For the home side, Dandenong City, in the starting lineup tonight, we have number 3, Jacob Alexander. Number 22, Timothy Adrenos. Number 9, Kenny Adu. Number 23, Will Bauer. Number 2, Stefan Brečević. Number 18, we have Tommy Giannakopoulos. Number 1, the goalkeeper, Johnny Hall. Number 25, George Lamborghini. Number 11, Brady Quinn. Number 5, the captain, Jack Webster. And number 19, James Zidius. Wishing you all a very enjoyable evening. Hopefully it's a great day tonight at soccer. Very competitive. Just looking at my favourite goalkeeper there in front of me. Making me smile. Number 33. Have an enjoyable evening. Just a reminder, no spectator is to enter the field of play at any point in time. No spectators in the field of play, and no smoking under the grandstand, please. Toilet facilities, there's temporary toilet facilities round the back of the club rooms. There's also facilities inside the club rooms near the bar. Thank you.
blame them? Look at this. This is winter football at its best. Scouts are great. Just when it starts up, the diesel engine goes nuts. Absolutely. As long as it doesn't rain. It rained enough yesterday. Yesterday it didn't stop. This was bad. I was suspended. I was suspended because one of my assistant coaches yelled and they didn't know who it was, so I copped it. That's the worst. I didn't even know that was a rule. Yeah. What's that? Oh, yeah. Nah, Higgs was good. Higgs wouldn't yell. Last year, fuck, who didn't they have last year? No, Cam Watson
With the starting lineups again for the home side, Dandenong City, number 3, Jacob Alexander, number 22, Timothy Atharinos, number 9, Ken Adu, number 23, Will Bauer, number 2, Stefan Brečević, number 18, Thomas Kopolis, number 1, Johnny Hall, the goalkeeper, number 14, Damien Laconis, number 25, George Amberti, number 11, Brady Quick, and number 5, Jack Webster, the captain, and number 19, James Zidius. For the visitors tonight, we have number 24, Amir Abdullah, number 14, Harry Ashcroft, the captain, number 11, Josh Bingham, number 6, we have Uhud Bozubala, number 10, we have Joshua Zaleski, number 7, Rory Israel, number 23, Hassan Ishak, number 22, Oscar Carlson, number 5, Quentin McFarlane, number 21, Joshua O'Kane, number 4, we have Lachlan Weir, and number 16, the goalkeeper, Michael Weir. The other game we're keeping an eye on tonight is our sister club are playing Heidelberg United tonight. They kicked off, 9 minutes gone there at Heidelberg, no score today. Have an enjoyable evening, as I said earlier, no entering the field to play at any given time, please, and no smoking under the grandstand. Have an enjoyable evening.
Adam? How are you, mate? Are we on, are we? Oh, yeah. Very good, how are you? Good, thank you. Oh, I didn't recognise your fucking ears disappeared, Tommy. Your fucking ears disappeared.
It's round 22 in NPL Victoria, and we have some Friday night football from Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. And it's a good one tonight. We've got a top 6 clash in NPL Victoria. Dandenong City is hosting Hume City. We are very much looking forward to this one on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. Adam Sarikoglu with you on the call. Two sides with big ambitions for not only the final month of the regular season in NPL Victoria, but what might be beyond that as well. We've also got one of these sides that are still in the middle of a cup run as well. Just one change for Dandenong City. Brady Quinn gets the starting nod ahead of Danny Kim this evening. Just one change for Nick Tolios, and for David Chicks, Hume City, 3 changes. They do have a cup game on Tuesday to be mindful of. So it is going to be Michael Weir back in goal for Jackson Riley, Josh Bingham and Asen Ishak into the starting 11. Mark Otcheng starting on the bench this evening. Umut Bosdwan and, of course, Jackson Riley relegated to the bench, with Michael Weir now back in goal for his 5th appearance on return for Hume City. All set to go. 2 games tonight in round 22 in NPL Victoria. That one, of course, Heidelberg United and Melbourne Knights, and the second game of the night is underway. Hume City 4th on the table. Dandenong City have had an outstanding year after regaining their place in the top flight. Both teams coming off some winning form. 2 on the bounce for Dandy City. Went to Green Gully last week and took a 3-2 win away from Keilor Downs. Hume City was also on the road last week. A 2-0 win over Moreland City. It was none other than Lloyd Isgrove with the second of those goals. It was an own goal that got things underway at CB Smith last weekend. It is indeed Michael Weir back in goal, who clears out. Giannakopoulos getting an early touch as the ball is sent forward, but Ishak will be safely going back to Weir. Both the Weir boys back out there starting together once more for the 5th time since Michael Weir's return to the Valley. Here's Isgrove. Last time he was in the southeast in these parts, it was against Dandenong Thunder. Way back at the start of the season, scored that indirect free kick at George Andrews. Quinn into the starting 11 tonight. Ultimately, can't make much happen. And Weir was struggling to get a past Lamberides. First time ball sent by O'Kane in the direction of Golevsky. Brechovic out wide. Outstretched boot for Will Bauer, but the ball eludes him. Five league games to come before the postseason gets underway. Dandenong City still have 2 current top 5 opponents to come. And up next will be South Melbourne at Lakeside this time next week. Their final game of the year will be at Olympic Village against Heidelberg United, Manningham United and Port Melbourne in between that. They're both going to be at home against Manningham and Port Melbourne. Funnily enough, the next opponent for both of these sides will be South Melbourne. Hume City going to Lakeside on Tuesday for a Doherty Cup semi-final. They are heading north at the end of July as well for the Australia Cup clash with Darwin Hearts. That's going to be on July 30. Mix that in with 3 other league fixtures to come for Hume City. Bingham back into the starting 11, looking to get some combination going with Amir Abdallah. Central ball won't quite get to Isgrove. Arthur Renos playing back to John Hall in goal tonight for Dandy City. We are looking to pick out Bingham wasn't all that far off, just a bit too much on that ball in the end. Quinn regaining at least momentarily at midfield. Got a second chance at it, looking to open up the space on the right side. Quinn. Matherinos receiving a little shove from Weir. Brechovic. Just tucked in behind midfield. Jack Webster here scored his second goal of the season at Gully last week. That was from a corner, scored the header. It was the last of Dandenong City's 3 goals at Green Gully last week, and Matherinos had the advantage on Weir, sent it in quickly, calls for handball, will go unheard. Exidius for Quinn. Exidius again, and that was a pretty clear chance, but the flag is up anyway. Barrett missed the header. Didn't matter. Bingham again, the target for the long ball. Exidius will reclaim possession here for Dandenong City. It was a scoreless draw between these two back in the middle of April. But prior to that, here in the top flight, of course, Dandenong City was not here in 2023, but back in 2022, both meetings between these two in NPL Victoria were 2-1 wins to Dandenong City. Hume did win a cup tie in that same year, 1-0. But the league form from 2 years ago belonging to Dandenong City. The switching ball from Exidius doesn't come off. This is one of the better games of round 22 in NPL Victoria. Galevsky was pretty tightly marked. It gets away from Amir Abdallah. 10 goals for Amir Abdallah this year. Lloyd Isgrove scored his 11th at CB Smith last week. Ishak wanting none of it with Quinn lurking. It's a cool night in the southeast here this evening. This is Jacob Alexander. The long throw. Sent back in by Brechovic. Matthew, no room to work with. Ashcroft cleared out. Brechovic kept it along the ground. Hume are able to clear out now. Lloyd Isgrove in space is a dangerous prospect for anyone in NPL Victoria, but he dished off first time in the direction of Amir Abdallah. Alexander had regained it for Dandenong City now. Bauer making the run. No one in the box at the moment. Ashcroft with the challenge. And it's a Hume City ball. Harry Ashcroft. Missing his normal partner in crime. In the centre of defence in Tomas Maricic tonight. It's a perfectly executed tackle by Harry Ashcroft, especially in the eyes of George Lacrindis. Matthew now just slipping over. Fair to say this pitch not in the best of condition. That may well be coming through loud and clear on your screens on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel tonight. Amir Abdallah fashioning a ball in eventually in the direction of Bingham. It's taken away by Alexander, but Carlson stayed with him the entire time. Grounds announcer, he'll be giving us updates throughout the night from Heidelberg United versus Melbourne Knights. Still 0-0 in that one. That one kicked off about 15 or so minutes prior to our kickoff, a 7:45 kickoff here tonight at Frank Holohan. Carlson. Okay. Quinn giving him a hard time. He's just trying to find space. Amir Abdallah patrolling the right side for Hume. Engaged in the one-on-one. Worried out of it. Ended up with Carlson anyway. This is Weir. Lloyd Isgrove. Outmans on that occasion. Weir coming in to help. Ball retrieved by Exidius. Plenty of voice out here at Frank Holohan. Quinn. So a lot to do in these opening exchanges. Wins the foul. Jacob Alexander will send this ball in. Clean bounce in front of Michael Weir. And how's that for a long ball out of the glove? McFarlane going as far as Brechovic. Bingham and Giannakopoulos working hard on him. Matthew was pretty tightly marked by McFarlane. Matthew. Exidius. Webster. Exidius unloading with Isgrove lurking. Then went via the air to advance it forward once more. Galevsky emerging, only as far as Webster. We're back where we started. Bingham applying the challenge on Exidius. Back to Webster. A cagey set of start to this one. Two teams feeling each other out. There was no score the last time they met back in April. Abdallah. Webster gets in front of Bingham. David Chick getting real vocal about whether or not Webster may have tapped it back to John Hall. Again, there was a goal scored in these parts by Hume City via an indirect free kick all the way back in round one. That was how Lloyd Isgrove marked his arrival to Hume City at Dandenong Thunder. Lockie Weir will resume play here.
Second phase. Second phase.
It was a driving ball attempting to potentially pick out Amir Abdallah, who had just fallen back a bit. Bingham was holding his ground. Insidious in the direction of Atherinos, and Matthew now is being manhandled by Ishak. Surely that one wasn't too debatable, but David Chick will give his best efforts there with the fourth official. Alexander, as the ball will be given back to Hume City now. We have a visiting interstate 40 tonight. And he's engaged in a rather lengthy conversation with David Chick right now. A couple of calls not going Hume's way in the last couple of minutes. Exidius. Atherinos. Michael Weir will retrieve the ball. His fifth league appearance back for Hume City now. Jackson Riley back on the bench this evening. As mentioned earlier, next fixture for both of these teams will be at Lakeside against South. Hume City in the Cup, Dandenong City here in NPL Victoria.
George!
It'll be a 4-day break for Hume. Just a little bit of tension out here at the moment. George Lacrindis has had a bit to do. Fourth official right now having a conversation with Jacob Alexander. You probably said a fourth official in shot. As Alexander does go into the area now, slipping over at the wrong moment. Lambertarides. Now Isgrove taking it away for Hume. This is Josh Golevsky. Just looking to guide it toward Isgrove. Matthew was coming in to apply some late pressure. Brecevic now for Lambertarides going over to Giannakopoulos. Quinn. Webster. Exidius going first time for Athiu, just over the head of Atherinos. Weir gets in front of Exidius. Covering quite a bit of ground on this right side, James Exidius so far tonight. A miss kick from Weir, and then an even worse miss kick resulting in a chance here for Golevsky. McCann takes it away. He's playing for the space, goes in now. Directly at John Hall, that ball in the end. It was a comedy of errors in that last passage.
Tight. Yes! Yes!
No easy ways out right now for Dandenong City. Lambertarides getting there in time. Ishak. Ball rolls along this rather bumpy turf. Little tug of the shirt. Another Hume City free kick here. Weir gets it back from Ishak. Hall at the top of the area. Pulls it down. Weir had a decent case there. The ball is given to the hosts. Lambertarides with Galevsky in his face had to retreat back. This is Jacob Alexander for Dandenong City. It's a cold night at Frank Holohan. But no wind, no rain. Just a bit chilly here in the middle of July. There'll be another cold night in store for both of these sides in the next 7 days at Lakeside. Mark Ochieng, the real notable, not starting tonight for Hume City. With Tuesday in mind, Ishak will go back to Michael Weir. O'Kane had a man on, but had the poise. Did give it up. Carlson was there to help out. This is Webster. Galevsky staying with Jack Webster here.
That's the wrong guy.
Webster into the ditch behind us that ball goes. So I could nearly reach out and grab it myself perhaps off the boot of Ishak.
Off the shoulder, good.
Little play on by Athew for Quinn. Over Dandenong City go deep right now. They're just not finding any decent avenues to fire a shot away and really test Michael Weir. It does feel like they've had the lion's share of possession so far. But here is a moment for Hume City. Amir Abdallah, he's looking to cut back. Just in behind Bingham. It took a deflection, Isgrove, and Hall was able to get a boot to it in the end. It was all the usual suspects for Hume City. They do get a corner out of it.
Amir, that's it. Well done, boys. That's the best one.
That's the danger of Amir Abdallah in space on that right side. Lloyd Isgrove not having too much time to react and fire the shot away. Dandenong City perhaps a touch lucky to have not conceded. Now we have Hume City's first corner of the night. Just flush it high as Lloyd Isgrove. Abdallah had played it down initially. Cuts back in, straight into the gloves of Hall. You may have heard the frustrated groan from David Chick. We are lacking a shot on target here so far. And that remains the case. George Lambertarides, well over the top.
Are we best friends or not? We're going to fight. No, you're fine. You're never going to have a problem.
Bauer.
You're making the problem that's not there.
We're sending it skyward. Bingham against Webster. Fell to Isgrove, who sent it further along immediately. And perhaps he could have held on and slowed things down just a touch. Matthew trying to guide it toward Brady Quinn. Golevsky had fallen over. This feels like the third or fourth free kick that Hume have taken from around this part of the pitch. Plenty of friendly byplay out there right now between both the players and both Nick Tolios and David Chick. Fourth official's been quite busy so far. Lucky we up. Isgrove went central. Matthew retrieved it. Bowers ball out wide. And this looking like a decent opportunity for Dandenong City. Atherinos was dispossessed. Bingham has nothing ahead. Golevsky sprinting back into the box now, forcing Bingham to sit on top of it for a while. Amir Abdallah triple teamed here. The outlet was Bingham. They can't combine in the end, both Amir Abdallah and Josh Bingham. But it does stay in Hume hands. They've just wrested back some control here, the men in red. This time it was Matthew who was double teamed. Here's Nishak now. May have been some confusion as to who that ball was intended for. Bingham leaving it for Abdallah. Abdallah leaving his run far too late. Okay, and wins it back for Hume. Now Golevsky with no room to work with. But it spat back up in the air. An awkward one to deal with for Bingham. Alexander clearing out, but only as far as Ashcroft. Ishak. Lockie Weir. To Lloyd Isgrove. How's that ball? It has a bounce. Safely in the end for Hall. This is a sort of pitch where any bouncing ball could do anything. And speaking with Nick Tolios before kick-off, he did say that 24 hours ago this ground had gotten a really good dredging. Luckily, we don't have those conditions here tonight. Hume utilising Amir Abdallah whenever they can right now. This is Fletcher McFarlane for Hume City. Mentioned the fact that Dandenong City after tonight still have two more top five opponents to come in their run home in NPL Victoria. The same does go for Hume City. We'll park that for a moment because Isgrove is looking to set up Golevsky here. A chance here for Hume. Isgrove, first touch, just gets away from him. Working in the phone box right now. Towards the back post we go. Abdallah arriving late. Alexander had Bingham pretty tightly marked. They'll press again, Hume City. Abdallah slipping over this time. Webster not quite clearing out. They'll get away now.
Lockie, run up, Lockie!
Lambertarides. Bauer on the correct side on Weir, but doesn't get past the other Weir. We may need an early substitution here for Dandenong City. Jackson Leno was being told to potentially get ready here. And we have got an injury stoppage in this play. I was just mentioning some of the quality opponents of both these sides are still going to face for Hume City. Next league game is at Olympic Village next weekend. Then they'll go to Darwin, come back and host Altona Magic before going to Oakley Cannons in the final round. There are a few shared opponents for both sides. The board is being readied here. We are going to see a first half substitution for Dandenong City. It's going to be Jacob Alexander, whose night is done here in the first half. Jackson Lino will come on to replace him. 13th appearance of the year for Jacob Alexander. Already has the right boot off. And here is the change for Dandenong City. So Lino will be coming on. Jacob Alexander looking a little dejected. Gets a... has a little conversation with Nick Tolios and does fall to the ground. He'll be attended to. So an early change at the back for Dandenong City. An unplanned one. He gets an immediate touch, does Lino. Bingham sandwiched in among multiple Dandenong City defenders. Lambertarides down the line. O'Kane gets it back for Hume City. Bingham reassuming the captain's armband with Mark Ocheng. Not starting tonight. Amir Abdallah has been creative so far as usual. But John Hall having no headaches at the near post. Front of mind for David Chick is that it's only a 4-day break for Hume for the Doherty Cup semi-final. Dandenong City will get the full 7-day break before they go to Lakeside. Giannakopoulos going back to Webster. Will Bauer probably knew that he was going to be off had he have gone after that ball. Much better clearance by Michael Weir. He's had one or two so far this evening, not quite get full purchase.
Well done, get up, get up, get up, get up.
Leno's had a bit to do since coming on for Jacob Alexander. An issue with his right foot, right ankle. Coming off about 3 or 4 minutes ago. And it's Dandenong City on the press right now. Giannakopoulos regaining before sending it in the direction of Atherinos, but only as far as Lloyd Isgrove now. Isgrove gets around Atherinos. Webster's next for Lloyd Isgrove. It's still Lloyd Isgrove. Played in and finished into the side netting, unfortunately only for Josh Galevsky. That's a big chance gone begging for the visitors.
Well done, well done. Hey, Izzy, brilliant. And again, every time they fucking play, counter.
Hume City most definitely looking the more dangerous of these two right now. Dandenong ball was the call. And again, it was a controversial one to say the least. That one's going to be flashed over the top. Perhaps Timothy Atherinos will want that one back. We're starting to see some end-to-end action now at Frank Holohan. But we're yet to have a breakthrough on the scoreboard. Abdallah has a bit of time and space.
Get in, lock it in. Hey, you saw that, that's not good. Boys, that's not good. Turn the fuck up, yeah? Yeah, we're good. All right, back.
This is McFarlane. Isgrove Bingham, I should say, making the run one way than the other. Cuts back onto the right side. Another throw for Fletcher McFarlane. They're smelling a goal here, Hume City. They can sense it. They've tested Hall a few times. Isgrove. He's the man where anything can happen at any time when Lloyd Isgrove is in the vicinity. He's lost his traction with this less than ideal turf here at Frank Holohan right at the moment of impact. But it is a corner for Hume City again. Having a good little patch. Hume. Ishak had the chance. Exodius now for Dandenong City. Some help through Atherinos. Isgrove again in the region. Lambertarides was the one that cleared out in the end. As far as Ishak, who gets it for Hume and sends it back forward. Webster to Exodius and then tried to pick out Quinn. Atherinos had collected on the way through. Back to Webster. Brecevic. Giannakopoulos back to Brecevic. A game that's had some moments so far. Can Dandenong City create another one here? Exodius, second time in. Matthew didn't make anything of it as the ball arrived. Not creating chances right now, Dandenong City. There's been moments where they've had chances just get blazed away over the top or just sent directly into the gloves of Michael Weir. That said, Hume's had a few like that as well.
Second ball!
Golevsky, a little nudge from George Lambertarides. It happened right in front of George Lacrindis, and he does give Hume a look at a set piece here. And there is plenty of firepower in these situations. Up David Chick's sleeve. Looks like it'll be Amir Abdallah.
Forward runs. We'll score. Let's go.
22nd appearance of the season for 10 goals in NPL Victoria for Amir Abdallah.
Fingers, 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 fingers. Get in.
Two-man wall for Dandenong City. It's Amir Abdallah.
Finger.
No trouble for John Hall. Xedius with not much room. It's given away by Lambertarides.
Amir. Go, mate. Go east, go east, go east.
Lockie Weir in two minds right now. Played back to Weir by Isgrove. Brady Quinn making life awfully hard for the Hume win back. Gets it back now. Isgrove around Quinn, but Bauer gets a boot in. Bingham leaves it behind, and a fair bit of turf had just come up as well. That was a decent chunk, I should say. It's been drawn up by the boot of Josh Bingham. Amir Abdallah. O'Kane, can he fire away? Bingham. And then the follow-up, O'Kane. Hall had it one time, not the second. Josh O'Kane finally has a goal to his name for Hume. And the visitors take a lead that really did feel like it was coming. They'd been peppering for a little while. Josh O'Kane finally getting a goal to his name. John Hall had him beat the first time, but O'Kane was there for the follow-up, and it's 1-0 Hume City.
Lockie, we're at 43.
Josh, okay. What's that, son? Come on. Keep going.
Easy. We're at 43.
Come on, let's go.
It's O'Kane's first goal for Hume in NPL Victoria. And Dandenong City want to equalise before we go into the sheds. This will be their first look at a corner for tonight. Can they fashion an instant reply? Unlikely goal source for Hume City. Nothing coming from the corner. We should expect a few minutes added on. There was a first half substitution. Jacob Alexander pulling up lame. Maybe roughly around that half hour mark, I think, when he had to be replaced by Jackson Leno. Michael Weir in no rush now. No indication of any additional time just yet from our fourth official. Webster sandwiched. Goes in again against Golevsky. Lambertarides taking it away. Now Athieu into some open space, but it was an awkward ball for Bauer. Was there a handball there? The protests will go unheard. Abdallah coming away. Galevsky in for Isgrove, and it's not a bad ball either. It's Lloyd Isgrove looking to double the Hume lead. O'Kane the scorer.
Lock it in, lock it in.
McFarlane has to go again. Much better ball second time round. There'll be 2 minutes added on here at the end of the first half. Dandenong City 0, Hume City 1. Lloyd Isgrove moving over to the right side for stoppage time. Amir Abdallah over to the left now. Galevsky held back, and that is card worthy. No hesitation in reaching for the pocket for George Lacrindis. These are dangerous times right now for Dandenong City. They've done so well in holding off a lot of the Hume City attacks throughout the latter phases of this first half before one finally went in. Are they at risk of going down 2-0? Abdallah sending it in. They were at risk, and Ishak does double the lead. He's one that's been threatening up front as well. Two highly unlikely score sources for Hume will give them a 2-0 lead going into half-time. Aizen Hishak. It's his first start for Hume. And he doubles the lead at Frank Holohan. From 0-0 to 2-0 in the space of only a couple of minutes. And there's some real urgency out there now for the men in navy blue. Lino wanting to make amends. The foul was given away, resulting in the free kick that eventually resulted in that second goal. They're not done, Hume, it seems. Lloyd Isgrove has been the Energizer Bunny out there for Hume City. Got held up that time. Webster. A look at the watch for George Lacrindis, but play continues. One last chance for Dandenong City to get one back, perhaps. Atthew, it's not a bad ball, but Brady Quinn is offside. And that should see us through to the half-time whistle.
Normally they give us 1 minute before they tell us beforehand. That's all. That's why we. You guess, bro. You guess that he can something. I don't like guessing, bro. Look at that.
I doubt anyone had both Josh O'Kane and Aizen Ishak on the bingo card for first half goals here tonight.
Last 20 seconds, apparently. How long?
Michael Weir should clear away, and that will probably see us through to half-time. A late flurry from Hume City. We were scoreless with only a couple minutes left in regulation. And now it's a 2-0 deficit for Nick Tolios to deal with at half-time. Josh O'Kane and Aizen Ishak, your scorers at Frank Holohan on a Friday night. Dandenong City 0, Hume City 2.
right here, Hume.
Boys, shinnies, tape, everything, yeah. Make sure I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
Second half underway here at Frank Holohan Reserve, and immediately Lloyd Isgrove sending one in, and that'll go over the top of the back fencing here off the boot of Josh Golevsky. Hume trying to just catch Dandenong City off guard. Two late goals for Hume are the difference here. It was 0-0 up until the 41st minute. Josh O'Kane and Aishan Ishak, two unlikely scorers for Hume. Ishak was in the first minute of added time at the end of the first half. There was a first half substitution as well that Nick Tolios was forced to make. Jacob Alexander with a right foot complaint. Jackson Leno coming on. Leno now on a yellow card as well. It was his tug of Josh Golevsky's shirt that resulted in a free kick that then resulted in the second goal for Aishan Ishak. Tucked it in at the front post, and there was nothing John Hall could do about it. The O'Kane goal, Hall had made the initial save after the shot from O'Kane. O'Kane then was able to follow up and tap it in. And that's your difference at Frank Holohan. One of two games tonight in NPL Victoria. Hume fourth on the table, Dandenong City sixth. A 9-point gap coming in. Right now it's a 12-point gap, but there's a chance here for Bauer to try to do something about it. Leno hasn't run away from him.
Well done, excellent, well played.
He was the one incurring the one and only yellow card from the opening half.
There was that ball that we were speaking about, yeah?
Came on roughly
There was that ball that we were just talking
half hour or
about.
so in
That we kept that off.
for Jacob Alexander.
The screen in front.
Hope he's okay. Just hobbling off with the right boot already off, resulting in a delay of a couple minutes, and it was a fairly lengthy stoppage time that did include a goal at the end of the first half. Matthew, some theatrics from Ishak, who has been busy at both ends so far. Gets back to a spot not far away from which he scored from
Make it one. Is the edge.
in stoppage time.
Hey.
Long ball in, Matthew playing on, Webster falling over.
Hey. Good up. 4 feet. His feet are
Weir goes high into the night sky.
Come on, let me go. Up. Up.
Xidius to retrieve for Dandenong City. Searching ball for Brady Quinn. Ishak all over him. Lambertarides now. Jackson Leno.
Track him here, track.
Bauer.
Well done, excellent.
Lambertarides.
Up a bit.
Brechovic. Webster.
Up a bit, up.
Back to Steph Brechovic.
Well done, Trench. Great position.
Brechovic not finding any easy avenues forward. It's given up by Giannakopoulos. Isgrove had a hard time controlling it though.
We'd rather they play long. Let them play long. Let them play long. Yep.
Natharinos. Here's a decent chance that goes begging for Brady Quinn. Much closer to target. but still nothing to worry about in the end for Michael Weir. Was going to go over.
Other side, boys, other side. Tuck in. Well done, boys, good. Sledge, be aware.
Yeah, past the hour mark at Olympic Village. No score between Heidelberg United and Melbourne Knights. The other game this evening in NPL Victoria. Got 4 kickoffs tomorrow. We'll end on Sunday. Bit of a Western Suburbs derby between St Albans and Altona Magic on Sunday. All live here on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. Here we have a 2-0 lead for Hume City.
Oscar, just be careful. Oscar! Be careful.
It's Weir, who was thinking about the long throw. Played on by Bingham. Galevsky. Isgrove. Holds up, then goes on the follow-up. And how was that missed? You would bank on Amir Abdallah finishing from there, but it's a corner anyway. It's a corner anyway for Hume City. Amir Abdallah had a great look at giving Hume City a 3-0 lead.
Josh, get in front of it. That's it, good. There you go.
Ball incoming. O'Kane, another corner.
Stay. Right.
Isgrove and O'Kane staying out of the area for this ball. In it comes. Isgrove. Matthew looking to chase this down the ball, just nearly getting bogged in the turf there as Weir does blaze away in the end, and it ends up with Galevsky. Carlson. Bingham. No one in the right spot for Hume. O'Kane. McFarlane. Isgrove. Shallow ball. A bit more height on the Fletcher McFarlane ball in. O'Kane in the direction of Bingham. Weir will play in first time. Webster doubling back as he deals with it in the air. Quinn chopped down and well tackled by Carlson. Lloyd Isgrove again. Weir. Lino, Galevsky. That was a golden opportunity. Hume have had some great looks at 3-0 already in this very young second half. Some theatrics from Josh Bingham. It has been a goal at Olympic Village, as we've just heard from our grounds announcer here. 1-0 lead now for Heidelberg United over Melbourne Knights. Interesting ball that by Isgrove. It does pick out Amir Abdallah in the end. McFarlane looking to loop one over the top. Lino has Galevsky to deal with. Just gets beyond the reaches of Atharinos. Isgrove cutting central. Weir presenting up, and now Isgrove. Switch back over to the left side has Lloyd Isgrove. He keeps on going into open space. It's just beyond the reach of Golevsky. Lino was in the right spot at the right time for Dante City. O'Kane stops short of arriving at Amir Abdallah. Lino got in the way. Here is Lino again. He'll be treading lightly, being on a yellow. Arthew bouncing off Carlson. It sat nicely for him. Giannakopoulos, and then Lambertaridi sending it further wide. Jack Webster scored his second league goal for the season at Green Gully last week. Dispossessed by Lockie Weir. Bingham going first time for O'Kane. And another run for Lloyd Isgrove. Did he get chopped on the way through? Bingham fires away. It's a cold night to be receiving contact like that. He'll jog it off Lloyd Isgrove. He might get involved again here. I think it's Oscar Carlson, the one that was just absolutely screaming at George Lacrindis. Not sure what that was about. You probably heard it in our effects, Mike. It was a sustained yell for nearly half a minute. I was looking around to see if there was an injured player that needed attending to. Nothing of the sort. It is Carlson who dumps out. Lino. Just in that awkward spot at the edge of the area for Weir. But Brady Quinn had been followed in by Harry Ascroft. Hume ball. Weir wanting to take it quickly. Just slipped over at the moment of impact. It's awkwardly sent into the trees behind us by Hall.
All good, but PG.
We have got a lost ball now. There's no spares available just below us, and one of the marshals has to go fetch one. Into the well-forested area behind us, if you want to describe it that way. So we've got a stoppage in play right now. So we wait for another ball to come back in. Hume really have dominated this game from maybe the half-hour mark onward. Finally, we have a ball that's sent back in by Fletcher McFarlane. Webster.
Oscar, well done, son.
There's a fast ball coming at Bauer. This time he'll have more time to make his decision and at least get a corner out of it for Dandenong City. More changes coming up for Nick Tolios. One being forced, of course, in the first half. Jacob Alexander with a right foot injury of some description. The adjustments do need to be made by Dante City because Hume is on top right now. Webster scored from the air last week. That was from a corner as well. But nothing coming this time. Everything going through Lloyd Isgrove for Hume right now. Abdallah just got caught behind Lino. Matthew now. What can King Kenny do? Carlson threw himself in front of Matthew. Dandenong City are desperate to get these substitutions out there, and we're now going to see them happen. Melly Sesnick, the first one. And the second one, Damien Iconis. Matharinos, one of the men coming off. And Stefan Brechovic, the other one for Dandenong City. Double change for Nick Tolios. Here's Amir Abdallah. Yet another dicey moment in the box for Dandenong City, but Webster will clean things up. Just feels like Hume want to just go on a rampage and keep on scoring tonight. Dandenong City had the advantage in the opening exchanges of this game. Through the middle portions of that first half, and now certainly from what we've seen so far here in the second, it's on Hume City's terms at Frank Holohan. Carlson putting boot to ball after a series of headers. Bauer. Lino. Bauer. Had a hard time getting past Ascroft, and most attackers do in NPL Victoria. Short throw from Lino. Last touch off Carlson. Quinn. Webster. We're back where we started, and the flag will go up on Jackson Lino. Just adding to the frustrations for Nick Tolios and Dandenong City. We're about to see Hume's first change of the night. It's going to be Mikkel Platt for Josh Golevsky. Hume are back in action on Tuesday evening in the Doherty Cup against South Melbourne at Lakeside. Funnily enough, 3 nights after that at the same venue against the same opponent will be Dandenong City here in NPL Victoria. Still a little ways away from seeing this first change actually take place, but Josh Golevsky will be making way for Mikkel Platt. They're the numbers on the fourth officials board at the moment. One window still available to Nick Tolios. Hume haven't used any yet. Matthews ball. Too direct for Ishak, and just took a little touch on the way through to Bingham. It's given back up to Dandenong City. Webster retrieving. Back to Hall. Ali Sesnick, one of the new men out there. Iconis gets pulled down. Here's the other new man out there for Dandenong City. Just got pulled down. Quinn. Lino. Bauer. Just keeping it in play. Bauer making life hard for Amir Abdullah and did indeed infringe upon Amir Abdullah. There's a massive chance for Amir Abdullah to add his name to the score sheet tonight. Essentially an open net, but the chance went begging. May well have been partially blocked, given it did go out for a corner. Isgrove has not had much room all night to work in. That's no doubt a deliberate ploy from Nick Tolios. Giannakopoulos now. Jackson Lino. First half substitute for Jacob Alexander. McFarlane, that's a nice ball for Golevsky. Can he score? Golevsky, and it wasn't far off the post. Isgrove does score. 3-0 Hume City. And it's becoming all too easy now for the men in red. It's yet another goal for Lloyd Isgrove, his 12th now. For Hume in NPL Victoria. And desperately unlucky to score was Josh Golevsky. The fourth official had the board up because Golevsky was due to make way for Mikkel Platt. David Chick now waving off that substitute. Mikkel Platt may well be put back on ice for the moment. But it's 3-0 at Dandenong City. It's a statement from Hume City. Chance here for Bauer. It'll be a corner for Dandenong City. One of the easier finishes for Lloyd Isgrove among many that he's had throughout the season. There will be an adjustment made to the planned substitution. It was going to be Josh Golevsky for Mikkel Platt as Webster goes down and makes his protest in the direction of George Lacrindis, but it's cleared out. Exidius for Bauer. Obviously a desperate situation now for Dandenong City. Quinn.
Go!
Giannakopoulos. Exidius. Webster. It's probably been Dandenong City's best tonight. Jack Webster. Iconis trying to get away from the clutches of Josh O'Kane. Hume City's first scorer tonight in the 41st minute. Got beaten that time.
Get in the box!
Bauer to chase this down in front of the main players race and then sends it into the signage of the Filipovic grandstand. And now finally Mikkel Platt will be able to come on. And the key question is who will be making way, and instead of Josh Golevsky, it is Lloyd Isgrove. Plenty of miles in the legs for Lloyd Isgrove tonight. Finally got that reward for effort by scoring Hume City's third goal.
Number 13 on corners.
And his 12th for the club here in NPL Victoria. Mikkel Platt will come on now. And there is a cup game to think about for David Chick. The scoreboard will certainly play a role in dictating how this last 20 or so minutes will play out for Hume and exactly what moves are going to be necessary in getting ready for the Doherty Cup semi-final. Golevsky So close to scoring, Abdallah! And that was ultra close to 4-0. Frustrating night for Amir Abdallah. He's trying to keep pace with Lloyd Isgrove, who's now 2 goals ahead of him this year in NPL Victoria. This is a crucial little juncture in Dandenong City's season right now. It's not only the 3 points that are going to go down the drain, but they can't afford to take too many hits with goal difference as well. Because right now that is sitting on an even 0. 39 goals for, 39 goals against now in NPL Victoria this season for Dandenong City.
Go, gotta go, Amir, help,
They were 9 points behind Hume coming into tonight's game.
Amir, Josh, you okay? Fucking brilliant. Go, Mickey.
Mikhail Platt is offside.
Josh, okay, well done. Second ball.
Carlson.
Good.
Bingham. Webster comes together with Carlson, wins it back for Dandenong City.
Amir drop. Turn. Go, Mikkel.
Here's Carlson again.
Well done.
Josh Bingham. Amir Abdallah should have a goal to his name tonight. That was on target. But John Hall got in behind it. Another Hume City corner. Ascroft and Webster got tangled up. Here's Shaq going for a second. If there's anyone else out there in red that David Chick needs to put on ice for Tuesday night, that's going to be at the front of his mind in his last 17 or so minutes of regulation. Just mucking around with it right now. Dandenong City at the back. Webster finally sending it down the line. It gets away from Abdallah. Lambertarides not quite getting it through to Bauer. Bauer recovering well though. Iconis now with his Ishak for company. Lambertarides tried to feed it on through to Atthew. This is McFarlane. It skids along the weathered turf here. Webster. Nick Tolios calling for movement. It is far too stagnant for the men in blue right now. Bauer. There was a raised flag from the fourth assistant referee in the end. Well defended by Ishak on top of that. Gets all the more harder for Dandenong City with South Melbourne up next. And then 2 more home games here where they will probably be favourites. Certainly against Manningham United. The big one will be against Port Melbourne in 3 weeks from now. That on the current table is 6v7. That's a huge game potentially against the Sharks. It'll be their home closer for the season. Webster. Cesnik. The former Portman. Giannakopoulos. Cesnik. Took a Hume touch. Iconis. That was close. That was very close. We've seen a lot of close calls throughout the night. Next change for Dandenong City. Looks like we're going to see, for the first time, Brad Platt coming on for some late minutes for Dandy City. Weir. Abdallah. Lino keeping him tightly marked. Some nifty stuff from Abdallah, but it doesn't come off. Athiu. Hanging off him was Ashcroft. Not fouling. He's having an outstanding night, Ashcroft, and that was a moment of frustration for Kenny Athiu. And that's a yellow card for him.
That's how people get fucking hurt.
Still on the deck right now is Ashcroft. It was a moment of frustration. He's had a couple of great moments tonight as Harry Ashcroft, and may have just paid the price there a little bit. We've had a red card shown here, and someone has been sent off. I believe this is a straight red. I think it's Aishan Ishak who has been given a straight red card here, and it's not clear what happened. May well have been verbal in nature, and it is straight red for Aishan Ishak. It was a great night, but it's ended on a sour note. Hume City down to 10 men. And there was a planned change coming up for Dandenong City. That changes a lot here at Frank Holohan. Aishan Ishak has gone from scoring his first goal to being sent off. And the only reasonable conclusion was that it was a verbal infraction. Hume City down to 10 men here. Play's been stopped for quite a few minutes now. Harry Ashcroft was fouled after a strong challenge on Kenny Athiu. Athiu retaliating. He got a yellow card for that. And then while everything was being sorted out for this free kick, which is still not yet been taken, a direct red card shown to Aishan Ishak. Amir Abdallah, play finally resuming. Nothing to worry about for John Hall. So Dandenong City have the upper hand now in terms of personnel, but they are down 3-0. Athiu.
Everybody in.
Here is Brad Plant, looking to have an immediate impact here. Still with Plant. Heavy contact with Josh Bingham.
Where the fuck's the red there?
It was very solid contact. A yellow card for Plant.
Fuck off, cunt.
He's been on barely a minute. He's been on barely a minute and already has a yellow card. One of the Hume assistants not happy at the moment. Frustrations are starting to boil over at Frank Holohan. A couple of minutes ago, it was a comfortable 3-0 lead for Hume City, and things were looking pretty rosy for the team in red. They're now down to 10 men. There's frustrations on both sides here. Josh Bingham is finally back up on his feet. Brad Plant comes on for his first appearance and gets an immediate yellow card. It is all happening right now. Carly Manzi is waiting to come on. One of the fresh additions for Hume City from TFA Dubai. Amir Abdallah, who is desperately unlucky not to have a goal to his name tonight, is coming off now. And on comes Imanzi. There's been a lot to keep track of in the last couple of minutes, and not much of it is to do with the on-field play. It's taken a real bizarre turn here at Frank Holohan.
How long left, please?
We have 9 of normal time left.
Straight red for Asian Ishak. He did score his first goal for Hume in stoppage time in the first half. He is now having an early shower. We believe that was for some sort of verbal incident, saying something of an inappropriate nature. We believe that may well have been. It was while there was no live play going on. Lino leaves it behind here. Free kick for Dandenong City. And again, the frustrations are starting to just bubble again. George Lacrindis absolutely has his hands full at the moment. The problem for Dandenong City is that they're running out of time. They have one extra man out there, but 3 goals to make up. Plants came together with Josh Bingham a couple of minutes ago, picked up a yellow card for his trouble. Brady Quinn looking to turn. May have been just caught by surprise by exactly how much time and space he had. And it's Carly Manzi now, the new man out there. From TFA Dubai out toward Mikkel Platt. Giannakopoulos had closed in. Lino back for Webster. Something might be brewing here at Frank Holohan. Mark Okchieng is going to come on. I wonder if David Chick even wanted to use him tonight. There's a cup fixture to think about for Hume City. Asian Ishak will not be a part of that.
I know.
Here's Bingham. Golevsky. Hume just have to park it up a little bit now and get to the final whistle. There will be some late minutes for Mark Okchieng. Plants. Surrounded by red. O'Kane. Tonight's theatrics kicking off with him in the 41st minute. Mikkel Platts. Six minutes left in regulation at Frank Holohan Reserve. It's been an eventful Friday night at the soccer complex. Giannakopoulos into some open space for Exidius. Another man down here on the outer side.
All right, we got. Oh, just give me a second.
I think that's Lockie Weir that's gone down for Hume. They are down to 10. Umut Bojdugan is also going to come on for some late minutes for Hume City. Ocheng's been waiting for a little while now. Lockie Weir back up on his feet. Five plus stoppage time. 3 goals down are Dandenong City, playing against only 10 men. And again, as the ball is cleared out, we have what you may want to describe as a proper melee here. Michael Weir has gone in to remonstrate. It's been a tension-filled night, this one, especially in the second half. Cooler heads are going to prevail in the area. Things are okay out on the pitch now. Fourth official needing to intervene into a conversation between David Chick and Nick Tolios now. They're going to have a quiet word with each other. Craig Foley right there as well. There's been a lot of friendly interactions between the two, and it stays that way. A little kiss and a hug, in fact, between Nick Tolios and David Chick. And that's good to see. Hume is still waiting to bring Mark Ocheng and Umut Bojdugan on. Look, we've had a time-wasting yellow card shown to Michael Weir. It's been a good 10 minutes now that Mark Ocheng's been waiting on the sideline to come on. Umut Bojdugan has joined him. And now the changes are finally going to happen for Hume City. It's a bizarre little patch in this game. The first half was relatively straightforward. 2 late goals for Hume City to send it to 2-0 at halftime. Lloyd Isgrove made it 3-0 after the hour mark. But this has just been a bizarre second half at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. At least here on the sidelines, cooler heads have prevailed. There was a coming together of Nick Tolios and David Chick a couple of minutes ago. A couple of quiet words and a couple of pats on the back, a little hug between those two. All was friendly, which is good to see. Out there, it's been chippy in the second half. 2 minutes left in regulation, but we could well have a lengthy injury time at the end of the 90. Giannakopoulos in the direction of Lino. Bojdugan won't pick out Golevsky. Golevsky was set to come off right before he helps it up the third goal for Hume. He'd fired away a shot that did have John Hall beaten. It cannons into the post. And then off that rebound, it was Lloyd Isgrove putting it away. That forced a change of mind from David Chick. And
manage it, Mickey.
that resulted in Lloyd Isgrove coming off instead of Josh Golevsky.
Be careful, Mickey. Be careful.
Next opponent for both of these teams is South Melbourne at Lakeside. Hume will be there on Tuesday night. That's a Doherty Cup semi-final. Dandenong City will be there on Friday night. Iconis had a key moment from the air. Really should have put that one into the top right corner. This time his ball is blocked and we've got a corner. Final minute of regulation. Corner taken quickly. It's desperation time for Dandenong City. They've not been able to take advantage of the personnel advantage they've got out there right now. The man sent off was Asian Ishak. Believed to have said something inappropriate. But the referee, George Lacrindi, is deemed to be worthy of a straight red. Ocheng. It's going to be a lengthy stoppage time, as we mentioned. The confirmed number from the fourth official is 7 minutes. And that's not great news for Hume City. Plants. Ball comes in. That's an own goal. It's an own goal off Harry Ascroft, who's had a great night. But Dandenong City do get one back. Hume City, the beneficiaries of an own goal last week, have now given one away. And we'll just say again, there were 7 minutes added on. Dandenong City have got one of those 3 goals back, and they have an extra man out there. We could be in for one of the most dramatic finishes we've seen this season in NPL Victoria. Go nowhere. Because this could unravel quickly for Hume if they don't get on top of this. Lambertarides sending the ball in. Umar Boslugan now going to take it away for Hume. Too early for some time wasting. Plant played a big role in setting up that own goal. Heavy contact. Plant is on a yellow card. He has to be careful. Got subbed on and picked up that yellow card pretty much immediately. So he is on thin ice right now. Two minutes of the 7 have ticked by. Harry Ascroft, who does now have the captain's armbands after Josh Bingham was subbed off earlier. An own goal. Own goals in consecutive fixtures for Hume City. Last week it went their way. Tonight it could be a crucial moment in what it otherwise looked like a pretty comfortable evening at Frank Holohan. They were cruising at 3-0. It's now 3-1 with only 10 men out there. And still 4 more minutes at least of added time. Quinn. Exidius. Webster. In it comes. Just away from Matthew. Oh, it's gone in! It's 3-2! And it's Brad Platts! Wow! We are going to have a grandstand finish at Frank Holohan Reserve. What a goal that was. Brad Plants, what an impact. Still 3 minutes left. And now anything is possible at Frank Holohan Reserve. Hume have conceded 2 goals since they've gone down to 10 men. This man has just breathed a lot of light into this game. Lino coming in. It's Plants again. Lino, they're looking for an unlikely equaliser. It gets away from Plant. Ochieng played it into space wisely. Got pushed off it. Nothing to see here. Fair challenge by Giannakopoulos. Anything possible right now here. Ascroft. Given away by Galevsky. May well have already crossed the line anyway. There were 7 minutes added on. 5 of those have expired. There may well be more after that. Webster goes in. And falling over the top of it is Michael Weir.
Everyone up! Mickey up!
Mikey!
Get up!
Mikey here!
Bosdugan. They can finish it right here, right now, Hume City. Umut Bosdugan has that chance! He does finish it! 4-2. It's his first goal of the season. Umut Bosdugan finishes it for Hume City. What a late scare they had. And what a brave fight back it was from Dandenong City. But it won't be enough tonight. We'll probably only get 1 more minute of play, roughly. 3 goals in stoppage time tonight. All or nothing now for Dante City.
Behind the ball! Get behind the ball!
No goals! Stay up!
Find me a more eventful second half from any fixture we've had in NPL Victoria this season. This one has had it all since half-time. Jack Webster. Surely the 3 points are safe for Hume. Hall outside the area. Mikhail Platt was lurking. The 7 minutes are up, but we will go a bit longer than that tonight.
Fuck me!
George!
The foul on Damien Iconis.
Fuck me, man! There's not even been that fucking normal game, George! George! Hey, stay out of it! Get out!
And again,
Mikey!
there's plenty happening.
Michael in! He's lost control.